Hey guys, so here's part 2 of our meat packing. We finished the ground chicken and that's all packed and put away in the freezer, and I started on the ground beef. The ground beef, it seemed to go a lot faster and a lot smoother. I had some bags that were already sealed on one end, so that was obviously faster. But overall, it just seemed to go quick. Out of each log, I got 5 2-pound bags. So in total, out of all 5 logs, I got 25 bags of meat in the freezer, which that's a pretty good deal. Again, we got all 5 logs really cheap. I normally pay double for the same amount of meat at the grocery store, and that's when it's on sale. So I couldn't pass this up. And again, it didn't really take that long. I think the ground beef it definitely took less time than the ground chicken to bag up. But I believe in total it was like a little over an hour and a half. That was again broken up. We had to keep stopping and taking breaks just to do dinner and be with the kids. And it was a busy day. We went sled riding. My husband was working on building a door frame around our front door. It was just insulation and wood in the house, so he did finish that up, and it ended up looking really nice. So that's nice to finally have finished after years and years of it being unfinished. But we got a lot done today, and it was really nice. We did go sled riding with our friends. That was fun. The kids really enjoyed that, and I was glad. My husband did go to Lowe's when I first started packing the meat and doing the chicken, and I was home with the kids alone doing it. It was way more stressful, but it was really nice when he came home. He stepped in and helped when he could in between doing the door and doing the meat and being with the kids. I did find myself pressing the vacuum sealer closed a little bit too hard, that it was denting the wood. Our counter is pretty soft, but it was really hard to get it to click shut, and I just was afraid that if it didn't click shut enough that it wouldn't seal, and then it would just be even longer, and I just at this point had wanted to get it done. But I did end up cutting myself when cutting the log up, and I was using my kitchen scale to weigh it out to get it as close to 2 pounds as possible. The logs weren't exactly 10 pounds. They were like 0.4 short. But I wanted to at least freeze it as close as possible to 2 pounds so that when I pulled it from the freezer for recipes, it was accurate, at least as accurate as I could get it. We did flatten the meat down after it was vacuum sealed just so that it laid nice and stacked nice to be put away in the freezer. I know some people use a rolling pin and then roll over their ground meat or whatever it may be to just make it really flat and to get the most space-saving room in their freezer. I feel like a rolling pin would have been way easier than just pressing it down, but that's just what I decided to do today. Another issue we ran into was whenever we were vacuum sealing the ground beef, it was pretty bloody. It's not the best quality of ground beef. It wasn't the best percentage, but for that price point, we were just perfectly fine with that. But the blood was leaking out into the vacuum sealer, and we realized that you have to use the moist setting on the vacuum sealer, and then that prevented it from continuing to vacuum once it detected moisture was coming close to the edge. So that was a big lesson that we learned, and that did take some time up. So maybe it wouldn't have taken so long to package it all had we known this. But again, this was our second time ever using this vacuum sealer, and it is from Aldi's. I believe it was like $20, and I mean, it's amazing. For $20, it does great work. It definitely vacuums the bags really well. It sealed the bags really well. We only had one bag blow open on the seam, so I think that's pretty good out of I believe it was over 50 bags, over 60 bags that we used today to vacuum seal, and only one broke open. So overall, that's great. The ground beef was 50 pounds we started out with, and it took us about an hour and a half to do all 50 pounds. We broke it up into 2-pound bags, so we have 25 bags with 2 pounds in each, and we'll pop these in the freezer. It was just better than keeping the logs in the freezer and then how do you pull it. But yeah, that's it. We got 25 bags of ground beef, 30 some of ground chicken, and then 5 packs of ribs.
Done.